Okay, there's only 9 minutes left of the lesson, so we're just going to do a quick one on how to get the yes, you may.
Hi YouTube, how's it? All the way from Australia, introducing Dean Rom.
What's the name?
You're over there. You're only don't see your head yet.
There you go.
Yay! Wait, oh, there we go. Got him.
Cool, yeah. Alright, so on this video, we're just going to look at how we're going to get the bust working. So we're going to have to, whenever we click hit, we're going to have to run the bust, which will then end the program that's happening here. So what we're going to do is on our GUI, so we're going to have to code for the hit component. So when we choose hit, we've got hit player. We'll add cards. So get player cards, text value hit. Okay, so here's the value here. So here's the hit value. So now get random card. We're going to have to look at the way of actually determining whether it's bust or not. Now I'm going to, on that, I'm going to actually in my hand, I'm going to create an additional boolean, public boolean bust, semicolon. Bust will obviously automatically start off with being false because it's you do not start with bust, even if after you've initialized all your hands. So now every single time you add a card, you're going to have to get the total value. So if I go now, if open brackets get value of all the cards is greater than 21, then you bust. So then bust is equal to true. So now you are bust. So now what you can do is you'll create your getters and setters for your hands. So you'll go public your getters and setters, and we're going to work for our bust. So now that we've done that, on our table side, we would need to also have a public guys boolean is bust is player bust. Let's work with first player bust, and then you literally return player hand dot is bust semicolon. So you'll see that for getters you use the term is, not get, to return boolean for that. So we'll do the same thing for the, because we'll need it later to determine whether the dealer or the computer is bust. And if the computer is bust, we would need to do something else. So that'll be then computer hand dot is bust semicolon. So now in our GUI, when we do hit, we'll need to check, okay, if we bust, what are we going to do? So now on our hit player, we're going to have to go player.hit. Now we're going to work with a couple of things here, so I'm just going to now include this all in an if statement. So I'm going to surround this with an if else. So an if tman dot player dot is bust is player bust not, meaning that they're not bust, we would do the normal thing, we'd update the player. Else, what are we going to do? Well, firstly we're going to have to do the end game. I'm just going to actually create a method called lost, and we'll look at the idea of losing here. So we'll do that at the next video. So I'm doing public void lost. In other words, the person would have lost his money, because immediately if you get bashed, you lose your money. So we'll code that in the next video, or if I have time in this video, we'll code the lost. And we'll then want to reset our deck and go back to being disabled. Well, disabling the frame. So we need to do our change view, and we'll set that to be, I can't remember what we set it up to initially, true. So we'll set it to be true. So now when you do become bust, it will disable it, and you'd have to start, it would run the lost menu. Okay, I think we do have time to do the lost now, so let's just first test if it's working so we can make sure we don't grow on any other issues that we're having here. So I'm going to bet 400 Rand start, and I'm going to hit on value 21. Ooh, that's not right. Well, it is right because ace is representing 1 in this case. Ace is another thing that we need to look at. In other words, it's a 1 or 11. Yeah, that's a bit tricky, but it is possible to do basically what we would do. In this case, it would be 1, but before you put that, it would be 11. And I'll show you how to fix that in a future video. But anyway, so if I hit again, it's now bust, and you'll see that it's disabled this and it's enabled that now. So we'd actually want to display a message to the user as well, and we'd want to update the stuff here. So let's just code my lost method. So I know in the lost, I'm going to have to first I'm going to have to put a table lost method as well. So what do I need to do in my table lost? So public void lost, I know that I'm going to need to current bet to equal 0. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I don't even need to do any method in here, because if you think about it, guys, please continue focusing. Remember, you are responsible for your marks, not me. Sorry? Okay, now, anyway, what we've got here is we actually don't need to change anything here because we deducted the money from the bank player's value already when they lost. So when they lost, we actually just really want to say to the user, hey, you lost. And when the next bet takes place, it's going to override the current bet anyway. So there's actually no need to do anything inside my back end. The last here, I literally just need to display to the user, hey, you lost. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to use a class called option pane. Remember to use your control space bar because it needs to be important. I just deleted that because it wasn't being used. So the option pane, you can use a .show message dialog. So a show message dialog asks for a parent component and a message. You can have a title and message type as well. For now, I'm just going to show you this one. So we go this. So we want this to be the parent. This frame, because I'm inside the frame, is going to be the parent. So this means we'll open up inside. Otherwise, we'll go back onto my previous window, and you guys won't see it. So I'm going to say here, you lost. You lost. You lost. Okay. And then that will be our last message, just so the user gets some form of a response for what happened. So now when I press play, we should be in a situation where if I start the game and I hit, ooh, I lost because I became busted. Now you see it, the lost came up before I even handed out the cards. So the user didn't get a C, so my order of events was pretty poor. But you see, it will allow me to start again. It didn't clear the deck, it started off as adding a lot of them now. So I do need a method because I need to clear all their cards, their hands, and I need to set all their cards back because we're starting a new game now. So we've got two ways of doing this. One, when I lose, I could clear their hand, or when I start game, I should clear the hand before I continue to make sure their hand is empty. So I'm going to do it via the first way because remember, you could also win. So I don't want to have to recode clearing the hands when they win. So I'm going to actually do clearing hands inside the start game option because their hands haven't been cleared. So in our start game, I'm going to create another method above that, public void clear hands. I'm going to run clear hands before I add hands, so clear hands. On my actual hand, I'm going to have a method saying, I'm actually just going to create a setter for my num cards. So I'm going to go public, so I'm going to create a get setter, setter for my num cards, and what I can do is I can just literally set my num cards, so player hands dot set num cards to 0, meaning it will overwrite their hands, and same thing player hand, computer hand dot set num cards to 0. You might want to clear the memory, in which case you'd have to erase and reinitialize the guys. Grade 11s, you work until the end of the day. You do not stop working when it's 2 minutes left of the lesson, or 1 minute. You work till the end. Okay, well, 30 seconds. You work till the end. Alright, so this will reset it to 0, and once we've done that, I'm going to show you a better way in the next video, because what we should do is we should actually clear the hand, so reinitialize the array, so destroy the memory references. I mean, it's not the end of the world because it's quite a small game, so to set it 0 and just overwrite them is fine. But I want to show you how you can actually restructure it so it won't be that. We would also want to run through our deck and reset all of them to be enabled. So we'd actually want to run for our deck here. We would also want to run a clear method in our deck. And our deck would want to, we could either just actually reinitialize our cards, which is probably easier. So we can just go as equal to new deck. We could also probably do the same for our cards, is when we initialized our cards here, player hand, computer hand, we could just do the same thing here. That's a better way of doing it. I was overcomplicating it there. But literally our deck and our, if I call my deck, pleasure, enjoy that, deck of cards, okay, my bad. So deck of cards will equal to new deck, thank you, which will reinitialize it, and our new hands are here. So you're good for, and then you'll see that this will then reinitialize all of them. So now what should happen is when I press start game, hit till I'm bust. Okay, I didn't fix the order, I'll fix it next time. And I now go start again. I get 4 cards, that isn't working, but I'll fix it in the next video. Unfortunately, in this video we didn't get a fix on it, but we'll look at the problems in the next video. Enjoy that.